Alright, so, as I mentioned earlier, Gathering in the Clouds is the longest level in the run. This level is, I believe, about 12 minutes, optimally. It's a little bit crazy long, but there is some cool stuff that we can do in this level. Not much, unfortunately. The very first thing we're going to do in the level is, as soon as Thorin talks to us, we're going to turn around over here, and we're going to jump to this side. We're going to climb up this little area to get this gear belt, which you're going to need later, and then we're just going to drop down, do a jump attack on our way down, and we're going to solve this block puzzle over here. Now, the best way I found to solve these block puzzles is this one. Roll twice forward, twice to the left or right, pull into its correct position, and then just push it straight in. The K block, the fastest way to solve it is to roll it once to the left, pull it a tiny bit to the right, just so that you can actually roll it 3 times. 3 times forward, 1 time to the right, pull it into position, and then just push it directly into its position. That's the best way I found to solve that block. These other 2 blocks on this side are nearly identical, just kind of in mirror image of each other. This one, the easiest way to roll it into position is to grab it and roll it 3 times to the right. Grab it from this side and roll it 3 times forward. And then once more to the right. Obviously, push it, adjust it so it's in the right position, and then just push it all the way in. And then this one is almost the same thing. We're going to grab it from this side, roll it 3 times to the right. Or 3 times to the left, I mean. 3 times forward. And this one, you're going to grab it from this side and push it once to the left. Then adjust the position and just push it all the way in. Now with blocks, one thing that I do want to note is it's a little bit faster to pull them forward and backwards than it is to pull them to the left or right. So I did adjust the positions from the sides when I was already at the sides, rather than grabbing them from the front or back and then pulling them. But anyway, once we've solved all the block puzzles, we're going to be doing a skip on this statue. This is the Thorin statue. This is called Thorin Skip. It's basically Durin Skip, but less terrible. Only slightly less terrible, though. We're going to be doing a slash jump from this over here to get onto his shoulder, which I completely failed at the first time, but that's fine. Once we get onto his shoulder, we're going to be climbing onto his head. From his head, we're going to jump onto this thing. From that thing, we're going to jump onto this over here, which I can't really show from this angle. Let me see if I can get a little bit further away. But obviously, from here, we're going to be doing a long jump to get over here, boosting up onto this, and then doing a long jump from this to grab that chain, just barely hanging down. So let's try that again. We're going to be doing a slash jump from here to get onto the shoulder, aided with a jump attack. The easiest way I've found to do this is to sneak out to about here, to this corner, do a jump, and then just kind of pop onto his head. You don't want to hold forward for the jump. Instead, you want to jump up and then tap forward while you're already in the air to get up a little bit easier. From here, we can jump onto this little thing, sneak around to this side, do a long jump from here to get onto here, which the long jump is definitely the most difficult part. Do a slope boost from here to get up onto this corner. And then from this corner, you want to stand at about the lowest point that you can, so about right here. You don't want to be this high, because you'll notice we rub up against the ceiling, and that actually cancels our forward momentum if we're doing a long jump. From right here, we should be more fine to do it. But you can see there's this chain right out here. The way I generally do this is I aim for the chain, I turn around, and I found that just pressing Y when you're facing in this direction instantly turns your camera around sometimes. Let me try that again. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you actually have to turn it with the C stick. But once you're facing the chain, you can kind of just long jump to it. Long jump, or jump off the chain to get up onto here. And grab this chain right here. And now we're going to climb back down the chain and head into the gear room. Obviously, it's fastest to do that after we've done all the block puzzles, since we're headed directly into the gear room after anyway, so you can just come back down the chain and immediately re-enter this area. We're going to enter the gear room, and we're kind of going to just put on our ring on our way into the gear room, so that these spiders don't just completely maul us to death. There's a couple of weird ways to get through here to the other side of the gear room. Basically, the gear belt that we grabbed earlier is really all that we need for the gear room. A community member named Kyle found a weird way to get through here a while back, where you jump onto this, and then long jump from here to get to this side, which gets you to this side a little bit faster. I believe you can also grab some of the higher platforms using that.
Oh, these gears are broken.
But you can use an almost identical method to get back across, where you just climb up there, and then climb over the steps like that. But anyway, you just want to make sure that you put the gear belt into the gear lift. And now that we've done that, we're going to exit the gear room. And yes, this whole entering a room to do one thing and then immediately exiting the room is going to be a pattern. The next thing we're going to do is, as soon as we exit the gear room, we're going to take a sharp left and head into this area up here, the water room. There is a brief puzzle that you have to solve in order to get into the water room. It's not difficult at all. If you forget what the tiles are that you have to hit, they are on the sign over here. As you can see, an H, an up arrow, an H, an R, a weird A thing, and another up arrow. The easiest way to solve it is to hit this H over here. That way you can run a diagonal to hit the H, up arrow, H. Jump over these to get to this R, hit this A, and then this arrow. And that opens the door for you.
This must be the room that powers the rest of the kingdom.
Now, if you do miss a tile on that, your best bet is to go back and hit this white button right here to reset all of them. These spikes can be a bit annoying as well. But what we're going to do now is we're going to solve the water room puzzles. The water room puzzles are one of the most annoying parts of the level because there's not a good way to explain these. All I can really say is figure out how to route the water to the areas that the water needs routed to. The lines on these pretty much tell you where the water is being routed to. The only ones you need to worry about are getting the water to this one and this one. You don't need to worry about these two at all because it's not 100%. But generally, I work on the left one first, just routing it up all the way. And then fix the left one. Which the left one is pretty much just a straight shot. It's easiest, obviously, to start from the top and work your way down. There we go. And next what you want to do is catch the first lift cycle that you see from this side. We're not going to be riding the lift all the way around quite yet. Instead, we're going to hop off the lift right here to grab this right here. This is the first key mold that we need. We're going to be grabbing 2 more, kind of. Technically 2 more, but in reality, really only 1 more if you think about it. But we're going to ride the lift over to here. And now we're going to solve this one in the same manner, or in the same manner, I should say. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to catch the next lift cycle that comes by us. And now we're actually going to ride all the way to the treasury. This will tell you which room you're in, I believe. So you shouldn't have to worry about forgetting which room is which here. It's not too big of an issue. And going into the treasury right now is the exact reason why we grabbed the chain when we did. I'll show that off here in a second. But this right here, obviously, we hit the gear room first. Which hitting the gear room is important because it actually activates the lifts, which is what allows us to get to the treasury in this manner. We're going to take a quick stop at the treasury, which is the next room right here. We're just going to walk off the lift about right here. And we're going to climb up this little crane right here. It's a little bit difficult to actually do, but we're going to put the chain in like that. And we're going to catch the next lift cycle that we can, which was actually just right behind me. I did miss 1 lift cycle, but that's fine. It didn't really lose me that much time. And now we're going to continue riding the lift until we get to the far side of this room. You don't want to drop off here, because there's nothing really on this side of the room we need. But you want to drop off over here. Kind of just long jump off in the direction of the save pedestal. Now, I do want to note 2 quick things real quick before explaining the next part. The first thing that I want to note is that the fall distance here is pretty much enough to do a heavy amount of damage or kill you. The other thing I want to note is the fact that there is a cutscene trigger right here. Now, cutscenes generally override things like fall damage, so if you're in the middle of taking a whole bunch of... Or if you're in the middle of falling and you hit a cutscene, as long as you haven't done a jump attack or something like that, generally the, your cutscene that you're hitting will override the fall damage. We're going to abuse that a little bit here by using that cutscene to get down a little bit faster. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to run over here and we're going to grab some extra items. Specifically an item that we need that is the other key mold. I'm going to go ahead and put on my ring because I'm a coward. But we'll grab that key mold, and now we're going to head over here. And we're going to do a long jump and jump attack sort of toward the left to hit the cutscene trigger. As you can see, made it down without any damage. Now we're just going to head over this way to the left. Into the forge. Obviously putting on our ring here. And we're going to navigate into the forge. Right here is really nice. You can kind of just long jump off these. I'm going to go ahead and just put the key mold in on my way by here. You don't have to, but I always like doing that. The easiest way to get up here is to do a long jump right here. Just like that. If you do miss the long jump and end up falling down, really the only thing you can do is navigate around and climb this ladder up. However, the easiest way, obviously, and fastest way is to hit that long jump, climb up here, and then hit this jar from here. That jar starts a fire. If you haven't put the key mold in yet, I would put it in now as you walk by now. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit this switch. We're going to watch this key mold get molded into a key. We're going to run over to that now that the key mold has been molded. And the fastest way to get it out and put the next one in is to press BBA. Because when you interact with this the first time, it doesn't even give you any menu or anything, it just immediately gives you the key. So if you just press B and then A again immediately, you can put the next key mold in. And we're going to go ahead and do the next thing. Mold the next key. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing that one. Again, just press B. And we're going to be heading out of the forge. I'm trying to remember which door it actually is I want to use. It's the right door. You want to head out of the forge using the door on the right. Just because it's a little bit faster to use the door on the right. Again, use your ring so as not to get mauled by the spiders. This is near enough to the end of the game that I would be considerably worried about that. Especially if I'm on a really good pace. There will almost always be a glitched spider out there for some reason. I don't know why he always decides to run by. But once we exit the forge, we're going to go ahead and head over to the right here. We're going to put both key molds into these little areas where they go. They will be in the order that you pass them in. Once you've got those in, you kind of just want to run over here, grab this key mold, and re-enter the forge, which is, again, this door over here. Either way you enter the forge at this point, you're going to have to deal with spiders, so once again, be cautious with your ring. These guys can be really annoying, especially the red ones. Jump, please. Thank you. Okay. There we go. We're going to head into the forge, and we're going to mold one last key here real quick. Which, again, you just get to watch the same cutscene again that we've already watched twice. This is the third one. This one comes out as purple. The first one comes out as blue, the second one comes out as gold, and the third one comes out as purple. Again, just hit B to do that, and we're going to exit the forge again, this time from the left. And once we're on the other side, we're kind of just going to run straight across to the treasury. The treasury is going to be the last room that we have to enter in this level. Nice. Spawning me some courage points. But obviously you just cross straight across the treasury. You can kind of use these to save yourself a little bit of time getting some extra long jumps. Just like that. But we're going to head into the treasury. And we're going to navigate our way this way, just through the treasury. What we're going to do now, is we're going to pull each of the 4 chains in this room. It doesn't really matter which side you start with. I always start with the left side, but you can start with the right side just fine and not lose any time. But I'm going to pull each of the 4 chains. Now, it is important to note that one of these chains will cause a similar sound loop glitch to what you get in Overhill and Underhill. So the chain sound is kind of just going to play for the entire rest of the level once I hit the first chain. It's going to be really nice. As you can see, that nice rumbling. And again, you can pull the chains pretty quickly like that by just grabbing one chain while another chain is falling. That way you're not really losing any time waiting for one chain to fall before you grab the other chains. But yeah, once you've got all 4 chains pulled, this keyhole opens up. You can put your final key into the keyhole, and this door will open, and you can just walk in and grab the Arkenstone. And that is the entirety of that level. Once again, the longest level in the category. Optimally, anyway. There's only one more level left in this category, and I will cover that in the next video. That will be the Clouds Burst. But that's all for this video.